Pioneer College. Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students! Before we start with our class, today we are going to study a new topic in English grammar. Requesting you all to please take down notes because it will be very helpful for you all during your exams. Thank you. Since this is a remote teaching class, it's not possible for me to receive your answers to my question. But this is a small analog that I would like to give you before I start with my English grammar class. The topic that we are going to study is similar to these two bridges that you are seeing and observing. Over here. In these two pictures, if we were in class and if I would have asked you all the question, what is the difference between these two particular bridges? And you will happily or sadly say that the first picture shows that the bridge is broken, while the second picture shows that the bridge is connected from the two edges. All your answers are right. Perfectly and well said. When we see in the first picture that the first picture indicates or shows us that the bridge that used to be connected from both the sides, but one fine day that bridge was broken and therefore no one was able to move from one place to another. Okay, it is not possible for any person to cross a broken bridge. We might risk ourselves, we might fall in that lake, river, or whatever, wherever it is connected. And we see how important a bridge is, which connects the two different sides of the places. You all know we have a bridge that is connecting Naigaon and Bhayandar. Okay, and there are many other bridges also which are connecting two different sides, two different roads, and we see it is so helpful because it is used by many of the people. It is used to travel, it is used for people to cross from one path to the other, and therefore this bridge is same like the topic that we are going to study today. It is same like a preposition. Okay, this preposition acts like a bridge. It connects the sentence, it makes complete sense, and therefore the job of the preposition is like a bridge which connects from one starting point to the end, and that makes a complete meaning. And today we are going to study in depth all those bridge preposition words and how it is useful, and we will also see in various particular sentences how the preposition acts like a bridge. So keep in mind that preposition is like a bridge which connects from one end to the other, and if there is a gap like the first picture, then we might drain, that sentence won't make complete sense if we don't add a preposition. Okay, so we will be studying today prepositions with that understanding that it acts like a bridge. Okay, and also when we study parts of speech, I have mentioned you all that this word preposition is like our family member, and we had named him as our uncle, who has this keen observation, who knows where that particular object has been placed. And if anyone asks this particular uncle that where is my cup of tea, that uncle will tell you exactly where that cup of tea is been placed. So welcome all to this learning topic that we are going to study today, preposition. A warm welcome to to all the students of Standard 8. Today we shall study a new topic in English grammar. The topic is preposition. Hello students, I am Miss Jazel De Silva, teacher of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College, will be teaching you all this topic in English grammar. So here we go. Before studying in depth, let's understand the concept of preposition. A preposition is a bridge that comes before a noun or a pronoun and it connects to the rest of the sentence is known as a preposition. The work of a preposition is it acts like a bridge which connects the rest of the sentence. To be more specific, it is a relationship between noun and other words that can be noun, verb or adjectives. To tell you all more specific, I can explain you in the simplest manner is that we had studied preposition when we had studied parts of speech. One of our parts of speech consists of preposition and we have named him as our uncle. We have named the preposition as our uncle who has this keen observation, who observes every particular thing. He knows where a particular thing is kept, and if anyone asks this particular uncle that where is my book, this particular person means this particular uncle will tell exactly where that particular object is. So in my video of parts of speech, I have explained in depth what is preposition. So preposition acts like one of your family members whose observation level is so minute, so very well that he will tell you where exactly that particular object is kept. So today we shall study what exactly is preposition and what are its types. What exactly is preposition? We will be studying that in detail. So just keep one thing in mind that it acts like a bridge. It also shows a relationship between a noun and other words. And it is a bridge that comes before a noun and a pronoun that connects the rest of the sentences. So one thing is for sure that the preposition will come before noun and pronoun. So that is your hint for this preposition. And we will be studying that in detail when we move ahead. So as I have mentioned earlier, a preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and some other words in a sentence. And also, a preposition is placed before a noun or a pronoun, as I have mentioned earlier in my previous slide. So I have one example for you all. The example is, I wrote about him. So over here, the preposition is about, which shows the relationship between the verb. So what is the verb over here? Wrote. And the pronoun is what? Him. So as I have mentioned earlier, that the preposition will place just before the noun or a pronoun. So as we have seen in this particular sentence, we see that I wrote about him. So just before the pronoun about over here is a preposition. We will be studying more in detail when to use this particular preposition and your concept will be clear. This is the list of frequently used prepositions, and I know that you all are familiar with this type of preposition, but today we are going to see when to use which preposition. There are many more prepositions than what I have written it over here, but this, whatever I have mentioned here, these are frequently used. We use this often and we see in our day-to-day sentences also. So we will be studying that also, and we will be studying when to use which particular preposition.
Mostly in your exams, they will tell you all to identify in a particular sentence which is the preposition, or sometimes they will tell you to fill in the brackets with the correct preposition. So please be wise enough to pay attention when I teach, because it will might be very helpful for you all, because grammar marks are very scoreable if in case you all pay attention. Thank you.
So in preposition, we have three types of preposition, and it depends upon when that particular incident has happened or an activity has happened, where that particular incident or that activity has happened, or in which direction that particular incident or an activity has happened. So we will be studying each type in detail. Okay, so in preposition we have three types. It depends accordingly when, where, and in which direction. So we will be studying each type in detail, and you all will get a good picture about it. The first type of preposition is when. Now, the type when, it denotes the preposition of time. So in any particular sentence where anything is related to time, then words like, prepositions like in, on, that, before, after are used. Okay. For example, my birthday falls in January. So here in this particular sentence, if we ask the question, when my birthday falls, it will give you the answer in January. Okay. My vacation ends on Monday. You ask the question when your vacation ends, it will give you the answer on Monday. You all can't say in Monday. That won't sound correctly. Okay. It gets cold at night. Now, in this particular sentence, you ask the question when it gets cold, and it will give you the answer at night. So when you have to ask in a particular question if there is anything related to time, then prepositions like in, on, at, before, after are used. Okay. So in a particular sentence, if they mostly tell you all to underline the preposition, but if they tell you all to add a preposition in a particular sentence, then if in a particular sentence something related to time is asked, then you have to use the preposition in, on, at, before, after. Okay. Now, I want you all to keep this one thing in mind. You all know that time, the preposition of time consists of hours, seconds, minutes, okay? And therefore, if in a particular sentence, if it is talking about, if it is giving us about a specific hour or anything, then we have to use at, preposition at. And if in a particular sentence, if the sentence is talking about a year or a month, then we have to use the preposition in. And if a particular sentence is talking about days of the week or dates, then we have to use on. Okay. Now see in this first sentence, my birthday falls in January. Now since January is a month name, therefore we have used the preposition in. Now in the second sentence, my vacation ends on Monday. Now since Monday is a day, it's a week name. Since we have 7 days in one week. So if any day, then we have to use on. If it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then we have to use on as a preposition because it is the days of the week. Then if it is any date given there, for example, is my birthday is on 26th January or whatever. Okay, so we are using the preposition on because it's giving us the date. Okay.
Please make a proper note of this because it will be helpful for your exams, because mostly whenever they ask you about these days and all, you all might get confused. So if in a particular sentence it is given a year or a month, then you have to add a preposition in, and if any date or days are given, then you have to add the preposition on. Please don't get confused. I'm making your life simple. So please don't get confused.
Now we shall move ahead to our second type of preposition, that is preposition of place. I just want you all to keep one thing in mind, that in our syllables we just have to identify which is a preposition and we just have to underline. And also in our syllables we don't have these types of preposition, but it's just for your knowledge in case if they ask you in your exams or if any of this sort, then you all won't forget because I am teaching you all in depth. So if they tell you all to add a preposition or underline, then you will get a clear picture when you all study these types. So the second type is preposition of place. Preposition of place, further we will be studying in depth, but just to tell you all, preposition of place means where a particular object is been placed. Okay, so words, prepositions like under, above, in, on, at, such prepositions are used. And if in a particular sentence, if any object is kept on a particular surface, or it's or it is telling us about a particular place, then don't forget to ask the question where. And when you ask the question where, you will get the answer, and that will be your preposition. For example, the books are on the table. When you ask the question where are the books, and it will give you the answer on the table. Okay, you can just add another preposition and see. Instead of on, we can add in or at. See how it is coming. The the books are in the table. That won't make any sense at all. We can choose another preposition also. The books are at the table. Okay, it's not making a proper sense, and therefore we see that preposition when in a particular sentence, if an incident is telling about a particular place, then we have to use prepositions like under, above, in, on, and at. And don't forget to ask the question where. Okay. Also, the second example, the plane is just below cloud. Ask the question where. Where is the plane? And it will give you the answer just below the cloud. Okay. I hope you all understood the concept of preposition of place and time. Further, we will be studying in depth each of the preposition, how much ever I can complete, and those prepositions which are frequently used, I will be discussing them in the later half. I hope these two types are clear. We shall move ahead to our last type.
Also keep one thing in mind, that if any object, if I'm repeating anything, if any object is kept on any surface, then we have to use the preposition on. Okay, the books are at the table and the books are on the table. Since the books are kept on some of the surface, some kind of surface, then only we are using the preposition on. If a books or a ball is kept on some of the surface, then we have to use the preposition on. I will be discussing later when on is used. I'm just giving you a small hint, because you all must be confused that the books are at the table also is proper and the books are on the table also is proper. But remember, when you keep something on the surface, whether it is a cup of coffee or whether it is a biscuits or anything which is kept on the surface, then we have to use the preposition on.
The last type of preposition is in which direction the particular incident or an activity has taken place, and therefore it is known as preposition of directions. So prepositions like to, into, of, from are used to show some kind of directions, and in a particular sentence, if you have to ask any directions or in which particular incident has happened, then we have to use the prepositions to, into, of, or from. And don't forget to ask the question in which direction and you will get the answer. For example, we went to London last week. Okay, and if you ask the question in which direction did we went, then it will give you the answer to London last week. Okay, in the next example, he went up the hill. In which direction did he went? And it will give you the answer up the hill. So such kinds of preposition are used to show or indicate any kind of activity that has been performed in particular distance, and therefore we use these prepositions like to, into, of, from, up. Okay, now we shall study in depth about time, about place and directions. So let's know more about these prepositions in depth. The first one, now we are going to study in depth. Prepositions of place. Now what is the meaning of the word preposition of place? Preposition of place or prepositions of location is a preposition which is used to refer to a place where something or someone is located. And below all are the prepositions used to indicate where something or someone is located. So frequently we use the prepositions in, on, under, and slowly they will be more to indicate preposition of place. Now why we use the preposition in? The meaning is it is used with a name of a container, place or area to say where someone or something is. For example, there is some milk in the fridge. So we know a particular place, that in that particular fridge there is some milk kept. Okay, and it is telling us some location where that milk is there. So, and therefore we use the preposition in over there. Moving ahead, when we use on, okay, the preposition on is used when something is touching a surface or being supported by a surface. Okay, and therefore we use the preposition on. Not only surface but also any mechanic device, or if it is indicating any body part to show, then we use the preposition on. Okay, for example, he sat on the chair. Now chair, the base is some kind of a surface surface, and therefore it is indicating that a particular person is sitting on the chair, and therefore when someone is sitting on a particular surface, then we use the preposition on. Also, it is not only telling us about surface but also any mechanic device. For example, he is on mobile or he is on call. So the word call, or the it is telling us some mechanic device. It's a device, okay? And if anyone is asking you what are you watching on television, so we often say that I am watching series or I am watching a movie on television. Okay, so if there is any mechanical device, then we have to use the preposition on. Okay, then we shall move ahead with our next preposition, that is under. We use the preposition under to show a particular object, whether the object is somewhere covered by something else. Okay, if that particular object is hiding somewhere, or the particular object is kept somewhere, or in simple words, if it is covered by something, then we use the preposition under. For example, she was hiding under the table. Okay, now it is telling, we use the preposition under to show something where you can say when a particular object is covered or something, then we use the preposition under. I hope these three prepositions of place is cleared, and now we shall move ahead with the other prepositions of place.
I just forgot to mention you all that it is not mechanic device, it is a machine device, okay? We use the preposition on for surface, machine device. Now, mobile phone is a machine, television is a machine, washing machine is a machine. So, any kind of machines, if it's there in a particular sentence, then we have to use the preposition on. Also, I'm giving you an example of a body part that I've mentioned that we have to use the preposition on. For example, the coffee fell on my thighs. Okay, so such kind of examples we use the preposition on, and it is indicating preposition of place. These are three prepositions that comes under preposition of place. There are more prepositions also that we are going to study them also.
Let's move ahead to the prepositions of place. That were just three prepositions that we studied in preposition of place. Now we are going to study more prepositions that are indicating preposition of place. The next one is next to, meaning next to preposition is used to further forward than someone or something else, to indicate whether that particular object is kept further of forward than someone or something else. With the examples, your understanding will be clear. There was a little girl sitting next to him. So, next to is a preposition here. You can ask the question, where was the little girl sitting? And it will give you the answer, next to him. And that means that particular preposition is the correct preposition that is there in that particular sentence. So the meaning of the preposition next to, it is telling us where that particular person is, whether he is sitting side of him or beside him or next to him. So therefore this preposition next to is used. Then we will move ahead to our next preposition, that is between. It is also one of the kind of preposition of place. Now between is used to tell something that is between two objects or thing that has been placed. Okay, something in middle of two objects, that's what I said. And therefore we use the preposition between. So the example over here, the English Channel is between France and England. So and therefore we use the preposition between to indicate, or if we have to tell something is between the two objects, then we have to use the preposition between. Now we shall move ahead to our next preposition, that is among. Among is used to show it is used to tell, for example, if there is a crowd, okay, and a person is there in that crowd, okay, in the middle of people, surrounded with people or thing, then we use the preposition among. So the meaning of among is in the middle of a surrounded by other people or thing, we use the preposition among. For example, Mary is popular among the students. So it is telling that among all those people, Mary, the girl named Mary, is popular, and therefore we use the preposition among. Then the next preposition is in front of. Okay, in front of is used to tell if any object is placed in front of something, or you can say in front of something or some particular object, and therefore we use the preposition in front of. For example, I can't see because of the person in front of me. Okay, and therefore we use the preposition in front of me to tell us that if some person is standing in front of you, okay, then it often we can't see, and therefore we use the preposition in front of. Don't forget that we are studying preposition of place. Now we shall move ahead with other preposition indicating preposition of place. We use behind to tell someone if that particular object is behind something, okay, at the back part of something, okay. He put his hands behind his back. So the preposition behind, it indicates, it tells us where a particular object is been placed behind something. So we use the preposition behind. So you can ask the question, where is his hands? So it will give you the answer, behind his back. Now we shall move ahead to our next preposition, that is above. Above, we use the preposition above to indicate a higher position than something else. Okay, and therefore we have the example, the helicopter hovered above the house. So above is the preposition here, it indicates the higher position of something. Then we have the preposition below, it indicates where the particular object is below or is lower than something else, and therefore we use the preposition below. You can see the pictures also, and it will give you the clear picture. A small stream runs below the bridge. Where does the small stream runs? It runs below that bridge. So it is giving you the answer to your question. I hope this concept is clear. We have more few examples which indicate preposition of place, and I am giving you a gist of words that are in preposition of places, so you all can note it down, and you all can also write for what it is used. Okay, these are the last three left that indicates preposition of place, that is near, far from, and at. So when we use the preposition near and close are too similar to next to, beside, but there is more of a distance between the two things. Okay, so we see that near and close to are similar to next to and beside. Okay, but there is more of a distance between the two things. Okay, so we see that near and close to, these two prepositions are similar to next to and beside, but there is some kind of distances between these two things, and therefore we use the preposition near to tell that that particular object or that particular activity just happened near me or near that particular place, and therefore we use the preposition near. For example, our house is near the supermarket. It is just near the supermarket, and therefore you can see the picture how close that ball is near the box. Far from. Far from preposition indicates a long distance away. So when we have to indicate a distance away, a long distance away, then we have to use the preposition far from. And therefore the example, and even in the picture you all can see how far away that ball is from that particular box. Example, the restaurant is not far from here. Okay. Then the last preposition of place, that is at. It is used to say exactly where something or someone is. So at is a preposition. It is used to indicate, or it is used to tell where exactly that particular object is. She lost her earrings at the door. Okay. So I hope you understood the preposition of place. I have given you all the list of preposition used to indicate preposition of place. I hope you all are noting it down. It will be helpful for your exams. So this is what we learned about preposition of places. In the box, on the box, under the box, next to the box, between the box, among the box, in front of the box, behind the box, above the box, below the box, near the box, far from the box, at the door. Okay, so I hope you all have got the picture of preposition of places. It is telling you where exactly the particular object or something is been placed. Now we shall move ahead with our next type of preposition and which prepositions are used. Preposition of movements. Preposition of direction or preposition of movement is one and the same, are used to show movements from one place to another. These prepositions are most often used with verbs of motions and are found after the verb. Okay, I'll read it once again for you all. Preposition of direction or preposition of movement is one and the same, and it is used to show some kind of movement from one place to another. Okay, from one place to another, and therefore these prepositions are most often used with verb of motion. I repeat, it is most often used with verbs of motions and are found after the verb. Okay, so let's move with examples and then you all will get a good picture about it. The first preposition that is used to indicate preposition of direction of movement is down, and I have mentioned you all earlier, if in any particular sentence, if it is showing you in which direction that particular activity or incident has happened, you can ask the question in which direction and it will give you the answer. So down is one of the preposition used to indicate the direction, and the preposition down indicates movement from a high to a lower position. Some movement is happening from higher level that is coming down. Okay, as shown in the picture. Example, it came down the stairs. In which direction did it came? And it is telling us the answer, it came down the direction, and therefore we use the preposition down because it is showing us some movement that is happening from a particular place. Okay, then we use then another preposition indicating preposition of direction is up. The preposition up indicates movement from a lower to a higher position, up. We directly don't climb up. We have to climb, then only we can reach that mountain. And therefore, there is some movement happening to reach that particular mountain. And therefore, we use the preposition up. It went up the stairs. It automatically did not went up. We climbed, and therefore, the preposition up is used because it's indicating some kind of movement that is happening. It went up the stairs. In which direction it went? It went up the stairs. It is giving us the answer. Out of. Now, the preposition out of indicates movement from inside a space to a outside space. Okay. For example, when your parents or your friends give you some kind of gift that is wrapped in a box, we take it out. It automatically doesn't comes out by itself. Some movement is happening there, and therefore we use the preposition out of. Okay, She flounced out of the house. So we see that some kind of movement has taken place, and therefore we use the preposition out of. I hope this three preposition of directions are clear. We will move ahead with our next preposition that are there in prepositions of direction. I hope you all are taking down notes, because in exam they will just tell you to underline the preposition, but you need to know those prepositions, and therefore I am explaining it to you all, or else I would have just told you all that these are frequently used prepositions and I would have given you all examples. But I am telling you all which preposition is used when and it indicates what, and therefore I am telling you for your good. Now we shall move ahead to our next preposition, which indicates direction, into. Now the preposition into refers to a movement from outside to inside of a three-dimensional space, and it can be used to express the idea of movement in the direction of something, often resulting in actual hitting it. Now into, if you want to put something inside the box, there is some kind of movement that is happening, and therefore we use the preposition into. For example, we went into the shop on the corner. Okay, we went into the shop. We went walking or something. So there is some kind of movement happening, and therefore we use the preposition into. Then towards, we use the preposition towards is used to say that something or someone is moving or looking towards someone. Okay, so the preposition towards is used to say that someone or something moves, looks, faces in the direction of someone or something. Okay, for example, he was standing with his back towards me. Someone is facing towards me. Okay, and if someone asks what's wrong, what has happened to you, if someone is staring, then what answer you tell that particular person? I feel that that particular person is looking towards me. So if we use the preposition towards when we feel that someone or something or someone is looking at me or something is coming towards me. Okay, then we use the preposition towards. Then another preposition indicating preposition of direction, away. So we use the preposition away is used to say that someone leaves a place or a person or stays some distance from a place or a person. Okay, so for example, if you example is just right below it. She turned away and stared out of the window. If you feel someone is ignoring you or like something like that, we often use the preposition away. Like he moved away from me, he went away from me. So that time that preposition away is used where we see that someone is leaving that particular place or someone is going far away from you. So we use the prepositions away. And don't forget to ask the question for preposition of direction, in which direction, and then it will give you the answer. Okay, so in preposition of direction or preposition of movement, you have to ask the question in which direction, and then it will give you the answer. And for preposition of place, we have to ask the question where, and it will give you the answer. So now here we can ask a question, in which direction he was standing with his back, and it will give you the answer towards me. Okay, in which direction she turned and stared out of the window? It will give you the answer. She turned away and stared out of the window. Okay, we shall move ahead with our next list of preposition indicating preposition of direction. Now, the next one is over. The preposition over is used to talk about movement from one side of a place to another. It usually refers to a movement in the relation of two-dimensional surface, a lake or a lawn, table, etc., or to show when something is positioned on opposite side of a line, a river, a bridge or a road. Okay, so we use the preposition over when we have to cross from one place to another, and it indicates, it can be anything, a lane, a road, a bridge, any kind of thing. So we use the preposition over. For example, the cat jumped over the wall. Some kind of movement is happening, and you can ask the question, in which direction did the cat jump, and it will give you the answer, over the wall. Okay, so over is also indicating a kind of movement that is happening, and therefore over is one of its list preposition indicating preposition of direction. Onto. The preposition onto is used to show movements into or on a particular place. For example, the cat jumped onto the floor. Okay, now over here in this particular sentence we see the cat jumped onto the floor. The cat automatically did not come on that particular floor. Because the cat jumped on that particular surface, we use the preposition onto. Okay, and on means what? If something is placed on that particular surface, we use the preposition on. And onto means there is some kind of movement happening, some kind of awareness is there that a particular person or particular animal jumped, and therefore he reached that particular surface, and therefore we use the preposition onto. The next preposition is off. The preposition off describes a movement away from something. Okay, there is some kind of movement that is happening. Okay, and therefore we use the preposition off. We get off the train at the next stop. It is showing that something that we have to get off, we have to get out of the train at the next stop. So we see that something that is there on that particular thing, particular place, we have to get off. There is some kind of movement that is happening, and therefore we use the preposition off. Then another preposition is around. The preposition around refers to going along its edges in a circular direction. Some kind of movement that is happening. You must drive around the city center to reach the cinema. So we see that the preposition around, we automatically don't reach the cinema. We have to take a lot of roads. We have to have some kind of movement, then only we can reach that particular place. So if you ask the question, in which direction must we drive around the city to reach the cinema, then it will tell us, it will give you the answer, around the city to reach the cinema. So we see that around is used as a preposition indicating preposition of direction. Then the next is under. The preposition under describes a movement below the surface of something. The cat is under a table. The cat automatically did not reach over there. She must be walking, and then only she must have reached there. So some kind of movement is happening, and therefore we use the preposition under. In which direction the cat is? Under the table. Okay. The last three prepositions indicating prepositions of direction, that is along. The preposition along is used to show movement following a line. It is also something used to show a specific position in relation to a line, or to show when things are positioned in a line. Okay, some kind of line, some kind of specific position in relation is shown in the preposition along. We will see example. He is walking along the path. Okay, we see some kind of movement showing us, following a line, showing us a path, and it is something used to show a specific position to a line, or to show when something is positioned in the line. Okay, across. Now the preposition across is used for describing a position that is stretching from one certain place to other, from one side to the other. You must walk across the streets of crosswalk. Some kind of position. Through. The preposition through is used for describing movement from a particular point to the other or from one end to the other. The car went through the tunnel. So some kind of preposition, some kind of movement is happening, and therefore we have used the preposition through. So these are the prepositions used to indicate preposition of movement or direction. As I mentioned, it means some kind of movement that is happening, and therefore these all prepositions are used to indicate preposition of direction, like or down the stairs, up the stairs, out of the box, into the box, towards the box, away from the box, past the box, over the box, onto the box, off the box, around the cube, or under the box, along the road, across the road, through the tunnel. So we see that this particular, all this preposition indicate preposition of movements. Through the tunnel means we have to cross that tunnel. There is some kind of movement over there, and therefore we have used the preposition through. This is not so much used, but we need to know what is the meaning of prepositional phrase. Now first let's know what is the meaning of the word phrase. A phrase is a group of words, okay? And when we add prepositional phrase, it means it's a group of words consisting of a preposition, okay? Its object and any words that modify the object. Most of the time a prepositional phrase modifies a verb or a noun. At a minimum, a prepositional phrase consists of one preposition and the object it governs. Okay. For example, the examples are just below that example. I will tell you all. And to tell you all more, a preposition draws a relationship between noun and pronoun, as I have mentioned earlier. And common prepositional phrases examples include about, after, at, before, behind, by, during, for, from, in, of, over, to, under, up, and with. Such prepositions are used along with the uh, prepositional phrase. For example, the rabbits hopped through the garden. Over here, through is the actual preposition over here. It is indicating some kind of direction. And the garden, that is an object. It is the entire thing. Through the garden, that entire thing is known as a prepositional phrase. As I have mentioned earlier, words like about, after, at, before, behind, by, during, for, from, in, of, over, to, under, through. Such words are used to indicate prepositional phrases, and these are not commonly used, I can say, but if you all get to know the knowledge about it, it will be helpful for you all. Another example, the balloon drifted up the stairs. Now, up is the actual preposition and the stairs, it is an object that governs, and therefore up the stairs is the prepositional phrase. The tiger crept slowly over the grass. Over here, the actual preposition is over, and the grass is the object that governs it, and therefore we see that it is known as the over the grass is the prepositional phrase. I would like to give you all another example of this. It's not so commonly used, but it's important to know. Everyone, including the king, stood up. Okay. So the preposition including shows the relationship between the pronoun everyone. Okay. And over here the noun phrase is what? The king. So including the king, that is the prepositional phrase. Okay. But in exams, they don't tell you all to underline prepositional phrase, they just tell you to underline prepositions of in a particular sentence. So we will move ahead to our examples. I hope you all understood this concept of preposition. We have three types, that is place, directions, time, and I have mentioned you all to ask questions. When it is indicating time, then you have to ask the question when. If it is indicating place, then you have to ask the question where. If it is indicating in which direction, if it is showing us some kind of direction, then you have to ask the question in which direction. Now we will move ahead with few examples. Over here, you just have to underline the prepositions in the following sentences. Alka sat beside her sick child. Talking about others behind their back is what I dislike. The old man sat under the shade of the banyan tree to get some rest. Nitin and his family live near our house. There seems to be no communication between us. The baby split the milk all over the bedsheet. Now we all have to underline the prepositions. I hope this concept is clear with you all and it will be easier for you all to just underline the prepositions. I'm giving you all 2 seconds to just think which are the prepositions in the following sentences. And in my next slide, you all will be having the answers. I hope many of them have got the correct answers to the prepositions. And this all are the prepositions. In a particular sentence, there can be 2-3 prepositions also. So it's very important to know the prepositions. As I've mentioned that a preposition will always stand before a noun or a pronoun. And here it is. So I hope this was very useful for you all and the concept of prepositions are cleared. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Thank you.